Hey guys, I just want to do a short video, Gatekeepers Part 2. And what I want to talk about with the gatekeepers again is how the gatekeepers function in society and why they function the way they function. If there's one thing that you have to realize is that in society we have a hierarchy. There has to be a boss and there has to be an employee. And I spoke about this like some time ago in a couple of videos down, that their hierarchy is not something that you can get around. Not everyone can be a leader. Not everyone can be a doctor. Not everyone can be a lawyer. Not everyone, I don't think that there's anything absolutely wrong with somebody that follows. Because people who lead do need people who follow. Because what is a leader without a follower? It doesn't make any sense, And I, would humbly say I don't have a problem following someone who is a very strong leader. This is why I love Jesus Christ so much, because whenever I read the Bible and I read how Jesus leads his disciples, the things he says, how firm he is as a person, it's not just an obligation to follow Jesus, but I just feel that strong desire to say, yo, this is an awesome man that I would love to serve under if he were a captain of a fleet or of a legion. You understand? If you look back in society, admiration for a strong-willed person or a strong leader, it is not absent. You understand what I'm saying? So to go into, the gatekeepers basically in society, gatekeepers basically need to keep men in a certain mindset and in a certain position in life so that they can keep extracting the resources that men create. For example, the government all over the world, the government extracts resources from men because men all over the world are the main taxpayers in society. And, when you look at it, you have to ask yourself, a lot of people probably ask themselves this question all the time, but what does their government do with the taxes that they get paid? And you look at government officials, you look at politicians, they have the biggest houses, they have the best cars, they have the best clothing, they have the best of everything in society from money that they, have been paid through the system of taxes. That's how politicians are paid. Politicians are paid through the taxes that you pay as a citizen of any country. And everybody knows this. Now, the thing about it is this, right? Once you're paying your taxes, you're still paying these politicians. You're still paying these gatekeepers. You understand? And these gatekeepers, they want to continue to be paid. You understand? And the thing about it is, like, this is my thing where I'm just talking about this, is that, like I was saying earlier, is that you have to, men have to start taking a stand. We need to start, really and truly, men need to start protesting a little bit more. We need to start having our marches. Women have their Women's Day march. Men, we need to have that, because, and I think about it a lot. Women's Day march doesn't do anything for them. Like, it's like them having an opportunity to rant about dumb stuff. Because if you ever listen to the vileness and the venom and the toxicity of what comes out of these marches, it's just always the dumbest and most emotional thing. Not to say that emotions are always a bad thing, but when a man actually uses his emotions at some point in time, the point comes across. Anger is an emotion. You ever see when a man is angry and when he breaks something, the point comes across. You will never F with that man again if he breaks a table in front of you, or if he breaks a bottle in front of you and say, yo, I'm sick of this shit. Right? So using our emotions at the right time, rationally, using our emotions at the right time will get our points across that we are sick and tired of this shit. And that we will not put up with it anymore. Now, in terms of the gatekeeper hold men in a certain position, like I said, to continue to extract resources that we're working and we're creating, or else the gatekeepers themselves will not survive. You know, eventually, you know, all these laws are going to be overturned because they realize, I think and truly believe that the reason why all these laws for women were put in is because the gatekeepers thought it would keep men in a certain position that would keep them working. Now you have men that are really opting out of society because they don't want to deal with this anymore. You know, MGTOW is growing stronger than ever. And like I said before, even though I am a married man, I am not against men going MGTOW because I see the crap that is out there that, you know, some married men have faced. Not saying that it will never happen to me, because the possibility of stuff happening to me is really, really high. At some point in time, my wife can decide that she isn't happy and she can get divorced and take more than half of my stuff. I guess, like, even nowadays, I'd be lucky. I'd be more than lucky if I even get to keep anything. You know? And that's what a lot of men are not into right now. Men aren't into risk without rewards or risk with punishment, like severe punishment, right? And people still don't get that. People want men to basically still participate in a society that hates them, a society that is punishing them for actually being a man. Men hate that. And MGTOW is a very good solution. Men going their own way is a very good solution. You understand? Men protect it. It's a way of men protecting themselves. And then you have people saying the Mike Pence rule, where, you know, you're not going to be alone with a woman unless your wife is there and stuff like that. And I also agree to that because, you know, I work with women and I work with young women and I work with older women and stuff like that. And you know, the advice of the older women especially is that when somebody comes into my office to talk to me and stuff like that, I always have the door open, or I always have a second female in there with me. And it's a female that usually has my back. You understand? Because with young people can say anything and young people can do anything. And you have women that flirt in society and then come in your office and claim that you basically, you know, harass them verbally or harass them physically, sexually, whatever it is. But in terms of the gatekeepers are trying to hold men in a certain position so that they are able to use and abuse men until they die. And then what's happening now to the gatekeepers are slowly losing their ground because men are waking up and seeing what the gatekeepers are doing. And because of that now, the gatekeepers have to now either do two things. They have to roll back the rules, or they have to change it up so it will put men back into the box that they had put them in. But as men, I hope we will not drop back into that box. And I hope that we will continue to grow intellectually to always view and realize what another person is doing, so that we are able to avoid the traps that are laid out there for us. Anyway, people, that's my video on the gatekeepers part 2, a little bit more in depth. Like I said before, the gatekeepers are basically the lawmakers in society, these big companies that own a lot of things, people that you work for. I mean, somebody is a gatekeeper in some way, shape, or form, but the real gatekeepers are the people who are working in government and the people who are making our laws, because they can make the law to make a lot of things illegal that can put you into prison. And that's something that you really have to sit down and think about, that who is it that we have as a gatekeeper, and what power they have over my life. Alright, stay blessed, people. Enough love and respect.